Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me here today for a Halo MCC Development update. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest blog post on HaloWaypoint.com. So stick around if you want to get all the information on upcoming matchmaking, patches, and things that are changing with the MCC. The following information can be found over at HaloWaypoint.com. I will put the link in the description, as I'm only pulling what I feel are the most important parts, so if you guys are interested, I highly recommend you go ahead and check out the article. That being said, the information reads as follows. Game update for January 29th of 2020. A new game update went live, which includes an additional options for social matchmaking, additional game content to support events in February, and several bug fixes to areas related to accessibility and stability, as well as some improvements to the behind-the-scenes reporting tools. We know that there's still a sizable list of improvements that the community has been vocal about since launch. Many of these issues, PC and Xbox, were known and on the team's radar prior to launch, and some others didn't surface until the game was out in the wild. With each small patch that doesn't address these larger lingering issues, i.e. the audio problems some players have experienced, we know it can lead to frustration and disappointment across the community. Please know that the team has been steadily attacking a slew of bugs while also working on quality of life improvements and working towards a larger patch for MCC that will be the next up on the release schedule. This will likely entail another flight for Reach as well. We appreciate all the feedback and the Halo support tickets you filed, and we thank you for your continued support and patience and work to improve Reach and bring the remaining 5 titles to MCC on PC. The full list of everything included in the newest update: featured playlist in Match Composer, new nameplates for future events, new upcoming matchmaking content, accessibility bug fixes, general fixes for Xbox only. It fixed an issue where the main menu would not appear after the passing title screen when launching for the first time. Globally, they fixed a crash related to player stats and leaderboards, reduced some excessive diagnostic reporting to improve performance, improved player reporting on dedicated servers when identifying potential anti-cheat violations. Now with the social playlist update today, there's going to be a social 1v1. They removed the Magnum from the secondary Halo Reach head-to-head based on community feedback. Social 1v1 is intended as a warm-up area for the Halo Reach hardcore playlist, so it's important that the settings match. Social 4v4, Team Slayer option has been replaced with Precision Slayer and Auto Slayer. Historically, we've compromised these by combining these into a single selection. We fully understand that different players have different preferences, so here we offer players their choice of starting weapons and experience. Precision Slayer includes weapon starts DMR, BR, or Magnum. Auto Slayer includes weapon starts AR, SMG, and Halo 4 loadout starts. Rotated in featured Halo CE Anniversary category for Halo Reach, which contains maps and game settings which emulate Halo Combat Evolved. Finally, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary has now been added in the Halo Reach playlist. I am super excited about this and cannot wait to jump in. Now when it comes to social 8v8, they reduced the hill movement timer from 120 seconds to 90 seconds and reduced the score to win from 250 to 200. Out of the box, Reach's King of the Hill variants does not support a 90-second hill rotation option. The 120-second timer was longer than we liked, so we took the opportunity to add the option for this variant. As the hill spends less time in each location, players will spend a bit more time moving between the hills, so it was important that they reduced the score to win slightly in this match. We weren't able to add the 90 seconds options globally, as this would require all King of the Hill variants in the game to be rebuilt, but players seeking a 90-second timer for custom games can be used in the big team King variants as a base. They replaced territories with 3 plots and territories on Tempest. As a symmetrical map, Tempest is a well-suited 3-plot territories in 4v4. This game type was already paired with this map, and after seeing some intense matches of it played in the recent Big Team Battle Throwback Throwdown tournament, they wanted to make sure that it offered and was official for 8v8 as well. Rotated in experimental AR starts category, containing AR starts variants of all core Halo Reach 8v8 maps and game variants. So this was something I talked about previously in a other video. that they are giving you now the option to choose whether you want to have the DMR with starts on 8v8 maps, or if you want to use a AR. I think honestly that people are, while I'm sure going to enjoy the AR starts, the preferred way and the designed way to play 8v8, especially on big maps, is with the DMR. The range of utility for the DMR makes it incredibly effective on some of the more battlegrounds common in big team battle. This leads to many engagements occurring at extreme range that can result in stagnation where players are discouraged from using certain movement options. Many players have requested that the DMR starts be replaced with AR starts and Magnums in 8v8. They have concerns that this would leave players too vulnerable off spawn, leave them ineffective against vehicles, and not provide enough starting ammunition, and lead to snowballing, where the score gap between two teams grows exponentially. When some players gain control of long-range rifles, however, we wanted to give players a chance to try it for themselves. Depending on the feedback and data, we'll consider pulling team AR starts for big team battle into the core categories more permanently. So it was announced earlier that Halo CE Anniversary would be the next flighting that would be coming to the MCC on PC. The update here says great progress has been made since they first talked about the next flights for the MCC Development update. Halo Combat Evolved and Halo Reach have some much requested features coming, and they're going to be flighted. In the January 17th update, they stated that the goal was to have the Halo Combat Evolved flighting program out by the end of the month, but unfortunately something came up with Halo Wars 2 that pushed it back a bit. It is still the goal to get this in the hands as soon as possible, but at this time they don't have an exact date of when the flighting will resume. The team is actively working through issues to be resolved prior to entering the first external flighting rings. As they did with the flighting before Halo Reach's release, this will go through the 1 through 3 ring process, and as before, depending on what issues are identified, promotion through each ring could go quickly or be delayed by bugs. Keep you posted as the progress continues, and they are eager to get Reach updates as well as Halo Combat Evolved out in your hands. Known blocking issues. Prior to kicking off flighting, there are many areas that the team is continuing to develop and test and prepare for feedback. Currently, there are approximately 10 bugs/issues that are blocking flighting from entering Ring 1. For context, there are a handful of tricky UI improvements and graphical issues that need time to be sorted out before the flight can proceed. As they work through these issues and others, they will continue to inform folks in the regular Friday updates here on the Halo Waypoint forums, so be sure to check it out weekly. For the flighting content, when the builds are ready, the next round of flighting will include both Halo Reach and Halo Combat Evolved content. For Halo Reach, the goal will be to focus on obtaining feedback from the community on specific feature additions. For Halo Combat Evolved, they're going to be aiming to gather feedback on a wider range of content prior to its launch. The first external flights for Halo Combat Evolved will look to validate areas of the game like dedicated servers, peer-to-peer connections, crossplay between Steam and Windows versions, and new UI customizations. The article then moves into Design Update. Since its release, many teams have been watching, reading, and planning work based on community feedback for both MCC on PC and Xbox One. Sometimes this feedback aligns with ongoing work, but sometimes it doesn't and has to be prioritized into the team's backlog, depending on the scope and the nature of the request. Making these changes is a reality sometimes requires little work when it doesn't require change to the game code and as a patch. A great example of the recent adjustments to social matchmaking setting making AR starts more prevalent because the content already existed in the game. A full patch was not needed and never requested changes were made to the game relatively quickly. Quite often, however, the requests from the community for changes are much larger in scope, involve core design changes that require multiple disciplines to create, and take significant amounts of time to bring to life. Making games is complex. Regardless of what is required to develop such features, they talk about internally what it would take to make them work and ensure that they are openly talking with you, the community. If you have missed a previous post, you can always take a look at it here on the blog. The article then moves on to a section called Matchmaking Map Selection. One of the areas we have received a fair amount of feedback on is whether we plan to include a map veto or voting system for match-made multiplayer games. Back when Halo the Master Chief Collection launched in 2014, we included a map voting system that allowed players to vote on a map and game type combination for each matchmaking hopper. Throughout the years, Halo MCC has evolved and been updated quite a bit, and we have added significantly more choices in the way that players play matchmaking games via the social games composer. In addition, we have continually reviewed a lot of data and feedback from players. One of the constant top asked questions is how we can get people into games faster. As a result, we made the decision to remove the map voting system from the matchmaking process in the fall 2018 update. While working on Halo Reach, members of the community and 343 team brought up the idea of the voting/veto system up once more. We reviewed the feedback via forums and surveys, cross-checked our data to better understand player behaviors and desires on map selection. Voting systems tend to limit the map and game type pool and could result in an increased user frustration when players see the same options voted on or vetoed from one game to another, which could lead to additional quits, lopsided team starts. We did observe a similar effect in the original vote/veto system for MCC, which eventually became a source of frustration amongst players. For the time being, we plan to keep the matchmaking flow streamlined, though we will continue to evaluate options over time. That said, we hear the desire for greater options in map and matchmaking choices. However, we are making a proactive change to the matchmaking composer settings and looking into a plan to include a custom games browser later this year. Now, myself personally, and I know that this is a very unpopular opinion in the Halo community, I do not like the voting system, and I do not like the veto system for exactly the reason that they outlined here in this article. The same maps and the same modes that are the most popular will always be picked, and while the worst time that you could have in Halo is still a good time compared to most other games, in my opinion, playing the same maps over and over and over, especially when other maps are good, unfortunately, those won't be picked, and they weren't picked previously when there was this option before in the game, and it did lead to a lot of people quitting matches. Now, at the time, they didn't have a quit penalty, so it wasn't a big deal, but at the time, the matchmaking didn't really work either. So you either played what you got, or chances are you weren't going to play at all. One of the topics that I'm constantly talking about in videos is the fact that the progression system needs to be updated and changed from what it is now. If this was 2010, this progression system would have been fine, but the fact that other progression systems in other games that are kind of competing for your time, games like Destiny, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Fortnite, insert first-person shooter name here, they all are implementing a progression system that mimics the season pass from Fortnite. And they address the progression system here in the update. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they have to say. Another area that we have gotten a lot of feedback on is the updated progression system that rolled out with Halo Reach. To date, we have seen a lot of players earning and unlocking items that were previously locked behind a variety of apps and requirements and have hosted multiple double XP weekends since launch. We continue to hear feedback. Players want more balanced medal values across games, faster progress, and to have more choice in how and when they unlock items. We are looking to both short-term and medium-term ways to address this feedback. We have expanded the ways in which our services configuration files can organize medals XP on a game mode per game basis. In the near term, we will be increasing the medal XP values for Halo 3 and adjusting firefight medals and caps better to align with the expected match length. We also look at bumping the performance and teamwork XP caps and the XP caps awarded for teamwork medals. We are investigating a way to offer unlocks in any order within a page of tiers of the Halo Reach season system. A full store is out of scope for us at this time, but it seems like a short-term way to offer more options to unlock in an ongoing order moving forward. Challenges are coming in the medium term. Adding challenges will allow flexibility for earning XP rewards and scenarios that are not currently supported. Campaign games, custom games, in addition to match-made games. In addition, we will be continually monitoring player behaviors and aggressively issuing bans for players who do not actively participate in games or attempt to manipulate the rewards system in place. For those who are actively looking to participate and play, we will also have some special events and bonus XP weekends coming up. Keep an eye on Waypoint and Halo social channels for more details in the future. Now, this is the biggest news update article on Halo Waypoint that I've seen for the MCC to date. It does, however, repeat a lot of the same information that I've already gone over. So again, if you guys are interested, I will put the link in the description, and I do recommend that you guys go ahead and check it out. But until next time, everyone, thank you all for joining me here today. Remember, in order to be part of the conversation and have your voice heard, hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment in the section down below. If you guys are interested, go ahead and check out some of my previous videos. If you're new around here, I upload content weekly. And if you found any informative or entertainment value to this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, as it does help out the video and my channel. My social media and Discord links are in the description and are free to follow and join. And until next time, everyone, thank you all for joining me here today, and I'll see all of you in the next video.